somebody please tell me, who was he, friend and company? With all the evidence, look, Roger still walking free. Oh, please, Mr. AG, can you help solve this mystery? I don't know what is happening inside this country, but too many things are bothering citizens like we. We had enough talk that heads will roll and people will have to pay. But not one case we win till daylight today. Tell me how come at cricket we embracing jubilation? Tell me how come we still remain a divided nation? Why Ram and Freddie look like they upset with PNC? Tell me how come? These answers I want to know. Who make Rafael sign the contract? Only 1% we getting back for all that oil. Somebody tell me how come? When will we solve the deaths of Crummy Wing and Waddle, Donna McKinnon, and the phantom killing of so many people? The sounds of silence is deafening across the land. Mr. Commissioner, what's your plan? Equal rights and justice is our demand. Too many crimes are going unpaid and criminals still on parade. Tell me why Donaldson ain't get no jail though he mess up the cable from Brazil. We giving all the concessions to them foreign company. How come local business not treated equally? Tell me why Charandas had to work with the PPP. Won't somebody please tell me, how come nobody didn't see? He was living in the same house with everybody, but drunk from the cup of plenty. Nuff cause rep full he belly. I don't know what's happening inside of this country, but too many things are bothering citizens like we. We set up Sarah and Soku to recover assets from overseas, but till this day there's not one recovery. Tell me how come some politicians pushing discrimination? Tell me how come we still remain a divided nation? They're so hungry for all money, they don't give a damn about this country. No confidence vote, that is the script they wrote. Tell me how Chinese taking over town and the Guyanese stores closing one by one. How come? Somebody tell me how come? Is justice blind? Article is no longer a crime. Yes, it's still on my mind. Whose bloody hands killed the Linden martyrs? Like Rodney and Sasha, who's the mastermind? Who committed the crime? Will they fade with the passage of time? How come no politicians making their assets public? Cause most of them can't account for how they get it. All the mansions by the sea and property in Miami. How come you do it on your small salary? Since we find out
best music, best talk radio. Only on Benchcop Radio 107.1 FM.
Selector Andre.
You know what it is.
Gabby, Earl, and Josh, it's the Mid-Morning Show on 107.1 FM.
Say what?
Keeping hope alive.
You're locked and loaded to Ben's Chop Radio, 107.1 FM, keeping hope alive. One hit at a time. You're listening to 107.1 FM.
Sweethearts, how you guys doing today? Welcome down to the Mid-Morning Show on Benchcop Radio 107.1 FM. We hope that you guys are having a fantastic day thus far. We're so happy to be here with you guys today, and we hope that by the end of the show that we would have lifted your spirits somehow. We would have improved your mood. Wherever you're listening to us right now, whether it's in your offices, at your work, you're listening to us in the comfort of your homes, you're listening to us in your vehicles. Good morning, and happy Tuesday. It's the 8th of February 2022. What are you guys up to? How is work going thus far? We have a great program lined up for you. As you can tell that we have fantastic music. And we're coming up at 10 hours. We're going to be joined by the Honorable Amanza Walton Zee. She's going to be joining us from the Arthur Chung Conference Center. And we're going to have a discussion with her on a number of issues, all right? So, of course, is your girl Gabby. Got Josh, Selector Andre, and Earl, also known as Tangerine, here with us today. Alright, so let me do some shout outs before I head into the usual updates, okay? Savagery Rose, good morning to you. Peter Garrett, Maxine Monroe, David Watts is here. Brent Mentor, Michelle Christie, Roxanne Grant, Paula Mattis, Sandra Warren, Brenda Wilson. Thank you so much for your compliment. Okay, so let me make sure that I click like on all these people. That I would have just called. Yvette, right? Brenda Wilson, Matthew, Ariel, Hector Chanson, Henry Leonard D. Clark, Roxanne Thompson is here, Maureen Williams, let me see, Sharon Beard, Audrey Winter, Matthew James, Brenda Cassie is here. Let me see. Michelle McAllister, Lynette Nelson, Pamela is here as well. Ingrid Carter, Sherry, Lynette Nelson, Desiree Liverpool, Karen Black, good morning to you. Let me see, am I missing anybody else? No, I think I have. I think I touched on everybody there. I saw some Keith Evans, good morning to you. I hope that you're doing great. Roxanne is here. Ariel, right. Winston, this is Winston Kilkenny. And Miss Webster, good morning to you. And Roxanne Thompson, top of the morning. Clyde Fraser, how are you guys doing? Why are you listening to us in the Caribbean, from a Caribbean country further afield? Those of you here in Guyana, top of the morning to you. Those of you who are in Bartica, in Linden, in Asticrebo, and in Berbice, top of the morning to you. From the west side, the best side. Those of you in Farica, top of the morning. I hope that you guys are going to have a fantastic way. All right, Candice Smith is listening to us all the way from Linden, and I absolutely love it. Richard Allen and Matthew Denson, top of the morning to you. Okay, don't forget to share the live, guys, and don't forget that coming up at 10 hours, we're going to be joined by the Honorable Amanza Walton this year. She is the opposition member of Parliament. All right, as it relates to your Tamarara Harbor Bridge schedule, it says that for tomorrow, Wednesday, February 9th at 10 hours. At 10 hours, there's going to be a retraction. Okay, tomorrow, February 9th, is going to be a retraction. While on Friday and Saturday of this weekend, Friday and Saturday of this weekend, the bridge is going to close again at midnight on both Friday and Saturday. But later down in the week, we're going to tell you about that so that they can have maintenance work, and then it's going to open up at 6 a.m. on their respective days, on Saturday morning and Sunday morning as well. All right, so later down in the week, we're going to tell you about that. But the bridge is going to have a retraction tomorrow at 9 hours. That is the Demerara Harbor Bridge. As it relates to the Berbice River Bridge, tomorrow at 9 hours 40 to 11 hours 10, they're going to be a retraction, and both retractions are going to last for an hour and a half. All right. In terms of your little health corner for today, how many of you like pak choy, or what we would say pok choy? All right, I don't know, bok choy or pak choy. I think the market over here, we spell it Pakchoy. I think the Chinese spell it BOK, right? BOKCHOY. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love pak choy. If you just wash those babies, cut them out, and you just saute them with some butter, or you want to use the olive oil, some red pepper flakes, and some salt, you have a beautiful meal. Of course, you can boil them for a couple of seconds first. I like to do that. I like to make sure that the water is excuse me, that water is boiling, and then I just throw them in for like, I count from 1 to 20 seconds, take them out, and then I throw them straight into the butter or some olive oil, and you saute them really good, and I add in some red pepper flakes. There is absolutely delicious. All right, so some health benefits of that is that it can boost immunity, it can help prevent cancer, it can improve bone health, it can improve eye health, it can improve skin health, it can minimize inflammation, it improves heart health and reduces blood pressure, and it reduces your risk of type 2 diabetes. Okay, honestly, actually, pak choi can be used, you can put it in chow meins. It's really good in chow meins. Of course, you can put it in your soup as well. You can put it in soup as well.
As a youth, I am truly amazed. So many games being played, and the people don't have a clue. They spin a web of lies and deceit, but in the street where people meet, they want to know the truth. Especially now with the youths asking serious questions. Since you want we vote to enable you to win the election, I want you to look me in the eyes and answer truthfully. Don't be like BJ and dodging definitely. Where the cash jet pilot get all of that money? Won't somebody please tell me, who was he friend and company? With all the evidence, look, Roger still walking free. Oh, please, Mr. AG, can you help solve this mystery? I don't know what is happening inside this country, but too many things are bothering citizens like we. We had enough talk that heads will roll and people will have to pay. But not one case will win till daylight today. Tell me how come at cricket we embracing jubilation? Tell me how come we still remain a divided nation? Why Ram and Freddie look like they upset with PNC? Tell me how come? These answers I want to know. Who make Rafael sign the contract? Only 1% we getting back for all that oil. Somebody tell me how come?
Making love one day with a girl they calling Mimi. Making love one day with a girl they calling Mimi. I pick up Mimi by the railway, and we take a taxi straight to Claxton Bay. Before we lay down on the carpet, she start catching fits where she bawling. Darling, don't bite me. Don't do that, honey. I never had a man to ever do that to me. Ay, do, darling. Look, me paws raise up. You're making me feel so sweet. Stop, Sparrow, stop.
9 hours at 32. Yeah, so apologies for that. So we were talking about pak choi, all right? So Brenda was saying that you could saute it and use it as a side dish. Absolutely so. And I like it when it's used in lau mein or chow mein as well. It's really good, especially and also when you put it in soup as well. All right. Miss Turner, good morning to you. Karen Black says, "Stop, Sparrow, stop." I usually tease the guys inside here, and I say Sparrow was a lovely, wicked big man. All right. But I absolutely love his music. So don't forget, David Wood, good morning to you. Don't forget, coming up at 10 hours, we're going to have the Honorable Amanza Walton this year. Well, tomorrow at 10 hours, we're going to be chatting with a representative from the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, all right? The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited. We're going to be talking with them tomorrow. Basically, the Cooperative Credit Union is a union that is catered for. It's a limited financial institution that offers loans facilities to its members. It's basically geared for public servants. So we're going to be chatting with a representative from there because not much persons know that this cooperative credit union has a lot of benefits to public servants. So tomorrow is going to be geared at that. If you know some of the benefits joining the union, what are the services and what are some of the benefits that you have access to while being a part of the credit union, okay? So that's going to be coming up tomorrow. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. As it relates to your motivation or inspirational quote for today, I'm giving you a self-love quote for today. It says, "Note to self, your feelings are valid. You are allowed to enforce your boundaries. Do not need anyone else's approval, and you are capable of amazing things, and you are enough." Okay? Your feelings are valid. You are allowed to enforce your boundaries. You do not need anyone else's approval. You are capable of amazing things, and you are enough. Okay? That is your self-love quote for today as you get through today and the rest of the week. Remember this as well. For your weather forecast, we're currently at 29 degrees. We can expect a passing shower or two. And tonight is going to be patchy cloudy, patchy clouds in the sky, patchy clouds in the sky, and it's going to be at 23 degrees, okay? So tonight is going to be pretty cool. Frederick Granger, good morning to you. And Miss Turner as well. Karen, welcome to the show. Wherever you're listening to us right now, top of the morning to you. Just in case you're now joining us, this is the mid-morning show here on Benchcop Radio 107.1. Good morning to those lovely people there at Andrew's Supermarket and at Quality. Quality has some of the best bread that I've ever tasted. here in Guyana. The pastries are okay, alright? If I'm giving my honest opinion. But the pastries are good. But the bread is excellent, absolutely excellent, especially the white bread, okay? And their juice, oh my god, you guys need, if you're ever coming to Georgetown, coming to Guyana, or you're in Georgetown, you need to get their juice, okay? This is juice. This is not juice cousin or uncle or some distant family or so on. It's juice, okay? So you need to get a juice from Quality, okay? And have you guys visited Andrew's Supermarket as yet on Aubrey Barker Road there in South? I guarantee you that they have really good prices and you can find everything that you need there, okay? So the bus drivers, taxi drivers, passengers, Denny's George, good morning. Carol Letta, good morning to you. GT Rude Gal, how you doing? To our doctors and nurses, those patients that are in whichever hospital, we are sending you speedy recovery. If you had a baby sometime during the course of the night, congratulations to you. And we're sending good health to both mom and baby. To all the midwives, good morning. To all our teachers and the students as well, top of the morning to you. To all the moms and the dads, good morning. And the grandparents as well, okay? To all our lovely vendors there at the markets. How are you guys doing today, beautiful people? Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you some selections. And then we're going to come back in with the trending headlines. After that, we're going to be joined by the Honorable Amanza Walton Desir. And we're going to get our discussion segment on the way, okay? It's the mid-morning show here on Benchcop Radio 107.1 FM.
Making love one day with a girl they calling Mimi. Making love one day with a girl they calling Mimi. I pick up Mimi by the railway and we take a taxi straight to Claxton there. Before we lay down on the carpet, she start catching fits where she bawling. Darling, don't bite me, don't do that, honey. I never had a man to ever do that to me. Do darling, look me paws raise up. You're making me feel so sweet. Stop, Sparrow, stop.
Struggle is real, I want to be free. Me can't take this insanity. Cost of living is so high. Then I get we breeze, now I want cry. So what do we do in these hard times? How do I cope and get what's mine? To tell the solution, it's not enough work. I think a sugar daddy won't quite hurt. Me want a sugar daddy to ease the stress. Sugar daddy to get me out of this mess. House, land and car, all in my name. A man that's ready to up my game. I want a sugar daddy, yeah. Sugar daddy. I want a degree, but can't handle the fee. A scholarship seems like it's in my dreams. Damsel in distress, help gon' come. Textbook and transport, up and down. Is this the path that I must take? Rare gems like me, you should take care. I'm lovely and dandy, and you need eye candy. Come treat the sweet suit, I happy. Me want a sugar daddy to ease the stress. Sugar daddy to get me out of this mess. House, land, and car, all in my name. A man that's ready to up my game. I want a sugar daddy, yeah. Sugar daddy. Bills got for pay, these edges got lay. I need a list wig for the club Friday. Me want iPhone 12, shoes from the shelf. Eating healthy food to improve his health. Honey, do come take care of your boo. I'm tired of struggling and you want some cuddling. Fair exchange is no robbery. So that's my plan, a sugar daddy for me. Me want a sugar daddy to ease the stress. Sugar daddy to get me out of this mess. House, land, and car, all in my name. A man that's ready to up my game. Me want a sugar daddy to ease the stress.
So just in case you were wondering,
Get me out of this
she goes by the name Omaya Hall. She's a local artist.
in my name.
And this one is called Sugar Daddy. Absolutely love it. Any one of you ladies on this live need a sugar daddy?
Sugar daddy.
Just make sure when you're responding that your husband don't come on this live or your significant other don't come and join the live as well, alright?
I know what me want, so you can get it.
Around the time, how you doing, baby?
Looking for love,
Elizabeth Ford.
butterfly.
Elizabeth Ford, if I'm correct, you're celebrating your birthday today. So happy birthday to you, sweetheart. I see here that you said you're spending a normal day, but I hope that some way along through the day is going to be absolutely fantastic, okay?
House, land, and car, all in my name.
Mr. Nelson, good morning.
I'm ready,
And good morning to you.
Yeah.
Debbie Apple, how you guys doing?
daddy. Yeah.
So, do you guys need a sugar daddy? I'm talking to my ladies. GT Root girl.
I want a sugar.
Just make sure that when you're responding to us, that your significant other don't be on the live as well, alright?
You want to help to mind your family. You want to help your man financially. But
You're locked and loaded to Ben's Chop Radio, 107.1 FM, keeping hope alive.
The Mid-Morning Show on 107.1 FM.
Last night, and a lovely young lady come and sit down in front of me last night. And the way how she sit and I could see all she knitting last night. But then this lovely young lady turn around and she tell me last night, boy, you could look until your eyeballs drop out your head. You can't get. You could tell me you love me, you could kneel down and beg. You can't get. You could offer me money and call me honey. You can't get. You could buy a Toyota and give me the key. You can't get. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Well, the combo was moving, but the girl wasn't moving last night. She could see how I was staring, but she just wasn't caring last night. Then the bartender tell me she come from Miami last night. But every time she bent over, I could see Arizona last night. Boy, you could look until your eyeballs drop out your head. You can't get. You could tell me you love me, you could kneel down and beg. You can't get. You could offer me money and call me honey. You can't get. You could buy me a condo in St. Lucie. You can't get. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. You want me?
up your... And everybody run to the bar, buy something and drink. Bada 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 bada. Raise up your clothes. Somebody wanna get it tonight. Take off some, chew it on the cup, stand up on it. Price push to the building. Well, this one called a good one. Antigua myself, New York Wagwan, London. I'm a friend Pan Boss, I walk something like this. Come on. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. Massive, 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 massive. I'm going out tonight. I'm going out tonight. I'm going out tonight. Massive, 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 massive. The hotel bed is just squeaky. The hotel bed is just squeaky, 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 squeaky. Hold on there. Alphabet is just squeaky, 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 squeaky. The hotel bed is just squeaky, 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 squeaky. Hold on there. And when me take out the long thing, pushing on you. Bada 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 me take out me. You must remember everybody have to listen to this CD, alright? Old and young. This one called the Rock. Country passing. All gone in. Hold it in. Say open the door and let him out. Just so. Me take out me long thing. Push it and show. The hotel bed is just squeaky, 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 squeaky. The hotel bed is just squeaky, 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 squeaky. Alphabet is just squeaky, 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 squeaky. The alphabet is just... What's up, so far you must say, Vice Mushy Live. Na 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 na. You must say, what's up, Bison? Hurry. Holy Wawa, Father. Find something, why? And why you wait for something? Hold on. You better find something and why? You better... All right then. Walk out. You got your own shoes, walk out. You got your own shoes, walk out. You got your own shoes, ladies. Bada bada badam. Come in at the dance with his sister old shoe. She come in at the dance with his sister old shoe. When she sister pump to she shoe, what she a ga do? What she a ga do? When she sister pump to she shoe, what she a ga do? What she a ga do? This is a set. Take off me old shoes, yeah. You better take off me. It's your market shoe. And take off the old shoes, yeah. You better take off me. Ratata. And in the year, got your own shoes. Walk and go down, cause you got your own shoes. Rock out, cause you got your own shoes. Wine on a mommy, cause you got your whole shoot. Come in at the dance with your sister whole shoot. Come in at the dance with Vice Moshe. Because of them, the sister pump parade. Oh, she a got do, oh, she a got do. When she sister pump, she shoot. Oh, she a got do. Sister say, you better take off the old shoes. Take off, it's your market shoe, man. Chinese selling shoe, cheap. Bada, 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 bada. Bada, bada. Walk up something, man. Walk up, say, walk up your poison.
You're locked and loaded to Ben's Shop Radio 107.1 FM, keeping hope alive.
It is 10 hours too. If you're now joining us, welcome down to the mid-morning show here on Bench Cup Radio 107.1 FM. And we are currently joined by our guest, the Honorable Amanza Walton Desir. MP, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gabby. How are you?
I am good, and how are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
Great. I have to say that I always admire how you dress, and I'm always thinking, I wonder if MP will allow me to raid her closet one of these days.
I don't know. What size are you?
No, I can't say that out on
Yes,
here.
it online. Okay. You'll text me in the chat.
I will, definitely. Definitely will. MP, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come chat with us a little bit. I know that we have consideration of the estimates ongoing.
Yes.
So you're chatting with us. So my first question to you, just in case for some of our listeners here, I would like you to share with us first off, very quickly, your thoughts on budget 2022 and what is your current thoughts about this administration?
Well, I'll give you the last first. They have proven that they are even more corrupt than we believe them to be. They have proven that they're incapable of governing Guyana in the interests of all Guyanese. And Budget 2022 is just another manifestation of that. You see a complete disregard for the poor and the working class, and you see a budget that is pro big business and kickbacks to their friends and cronies. And I think I want to encourage every Guyanese to go back to the budget debates. They're on all of our Facebook pages, and listen as we clinically dissect this farce of a budget. You know, they continue to boast it's the biggest budget ever, but yet you do not see any tangible relief for the poor and the working class. It is an anti-poor, anti-working class budget, and I believe we've exposed that we've exposed it for what it is.
Mm-hmm. And you, I do what I know that there's a lot of discrepancies in budget 2022. Some of the main
Mhm.
highlights that persons keep talking about is the allocation to Gaisuku, the amount of money that was awarded to the senior citizens, just a mere $3,000, and so much more. Are these part of the highlights that really struck you, and what are some of the ones that, or some more that you would have been disappointed in?
Well, like I said, and again on my Facebook page, I invite everybody to go take a listen. I demonstrated in my presentation how just with minor adjustments, we could have with $36 billion, which is 6.5% of the total budget. We
Mhm,
could have paid free tuition for the 11,000 university students.
mhm,
We could have raised the income tax threshold to $100,000. We could have given an immediate 10% increase to um, our public servants. We could have given a $250,000 bonus to every healthcare worker for their service
during the
over the
pandemic,
COVID
yeah.
pandemic. We could have upskilled 5,000 Gaisuko employees. We could have given another $3.5 billion to UG for their operational costs. This is in addition to paying tuition for the students. And we could have invested another $2 or so billion into small businesses. We could have also given, I think I said 1,000 small businesses a loan of $2 million each, a grant of $2 million each, with $35 billion. You have a capital expenditure project of that is increased by 109%. Like I said in my speech, the IMF says that our inefficiency gap is 41%.
Hmm.
What that means, Gabby, is that for every $1 million that we spend fixing a bridge, 410,000 of that is lost to corruption. So you can imagine 109% increase in your capital expenditure. That is $89 billion that will be wasted through corruption. Why not? Why not minimize that wastage and plunge half of that? I've just shown you what we could do with $36 billion. Why not plunge half of that into making the daily lives of Guyanese better? What you have instead is a government that skews the message that says, um, we have to invest in infrastructure. Nobody is saying don't invest in infrastructure, but it is such a nonsensical position to take when you yourself have said that the supply chain issues are going to affect our ability to finish our projects. It affected Mandela Avenue, it affected the airport. So we know that you will not be able to complete this 109% increase in your capital expenditure. Why not just take some of that and make the lives of Guyanese better? So it's really that they don't value the people of Guyana. They don't. And this jive that Barjagdio comes to tell us about, um, we like to invest in recurring expenditure. Budgeting is about balancing. It is about balancing building out your infrastructure and the livelihood and the quality of life of your people. Hungry people can't enjoy infrastructure. What are we gonna eat the roads? So it's really, we have retrogressed so terribly under this PPP government. It is disheartening for me.
I understand. And we have a commentary. We have a commentary coming in on the live that says Guyana is in the same position that it was 23 years ago. A terrible state and nothing for the poor and average person in Guyana. We have some heartless cruel in this present administration. And I also want to add to that that last night I went to get tennis roll for my son because that is what he eats. And the tennis roll used to be 160, then it went to 200. Now it's $240. I thought that it was 200 all the time, so I gave the young lady the 200, and she said no, sweetheart, it's now 240. And I said, wow, okay. And I didn't say anything to her in terms of her prices because I realized that, and what I've been saying is that the vendors have to eat too. They have to survive,
Absolutely.
and they can't be buying stuff and selling it back at a loss. Then how do they how do they survive? They have families too. And I was in the when I got back into the vehicle and I was heading home, and I'm saying, when are we going to see the benefits of all these measures being trickled down? And is it actually going to trickle down to the average person like me or like you, who's working every single day to make ends meet, to provide for the family, make sure bills are paid, and so on?
It trickle down economics doesn't work. The world over has shown that, and we know it. The best way would have been to get as direct assistance to the people as possible. Now, what you have in the budget is some very paltry, and I often say to people that you have to. They say yes, you have $3,000, and you should be grateful for that. But everything depends on context. So you are saying to me that we have just accessed 600 and something million US dollars, 127 or 29 billion Guyana dollars from our national or natural resources fund. And you are happy to give pensioners the equivalent of $100 more per day. How in God's name are people supposed to clap for that?
Yeah.
You distribute crumbs to your people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're supposed to be grateful when the bounty of Guyana, with proper management, can afford every Guyanese a quality of life. That will be the envy of this part of the hemisphere. The reality is that we just have greedy people who are just content to consume on themselves. And so trickle down, you'll not see the trickle down. The president himself, Ali, had to beg, if you recall,
Yeah.
importers to pass down the savings after they adjusted the freight costs. But these shareholders have a fiduciary duty to these businesses have a fiduciary relationship with their shareholders. Their first obligation is to make money for the business, not to the people of Guyana. The government of Guyana's first obligation is to the people of Guyana. And so they have it twisted. But, Gabby, what happens is that they're able to succeed with this twisted agenda that they have because they're people who, it doesn't matter what they do and how wrong people know it's wrong, they will say, well, it's we own, we got to support them. And Guyana will not progress like that. What we need are people who are willing to call a spade, irrespective of who is in office, and to demand better for Guyanese.
Yes. MP, you are currently, the entire opposition is also faced with the situation whereby the government wants to lessen the days and the times as well in which each constitutional agency can be questioned in terms of how the money allocated to them from budget 2022 is going to be spent. And also, we would have learned yesterday that the sum for the opposition office was slashed significantly.
Gabriella, what that indicates is that all of this talk about commitment to good governance is hogwash.
Mm-hmm.
I want to offer us a comparative assessment of the situation. You have the commissioner of information getting $27 million per annum in salary. This is the salary for one man, Charles Ramson Sr., who's the father of Charles Ramson Jr. So he is getting that 23 million or 24 million. The entire allocation for the year for the leader of the opposition office or for the office of the opposition is 27 million. Do you see that? And that is supposed to run the office of the opposition, pay staff, pay for the office of the opposition to be able to do its consulting. And this nonsense and this nonsensical view that we subscribe to that says that you have to crush your opposition. People don't understand. Even the supporters of the PPP, they do not understand that the opposition is the only thing standing in the way of them and complete domination and control. Because the nature of despotic power is that once it has consumed its opposition, it then turns on its supporters because it does not stop until it achieves absolute control. So I keep making the point, Gabby, that people who believe that they are somehow hurting the opposition by doing this and by supporting this level of corruption, they are in fact hurting themselves and they're hurting their children that they will leave in this country when they pass on to inherit a broken land, a corrupt land. So I really want to appeal, I think, to our better angels now, that we really come together as a people of Guyana and say, look, man, right is right and wrong is wrong. You can't share out a hamper to me because I support you and my neighbor is without. How does that benefit me? All that it makes me is a target of my neighbor. It is far better for me to advocate that I get, my neighbor get, my another neighbor get, so that we all are content with our portion. So Guyanese have to begin to understand that the power lies with us as Guyanese. To hold these people accountable, them in God, they are not God. And so they have to understand that they're a government by the people and they need to be a government for the people. They are not for the people. I'm not even sure if they are by the people because they're not even allowing the elections petitions to be heard.
Right. And also it would have come, it would have in the media yesterday also, that the monies that were allocated to GCOM, I'm subject to correction, I'm just paraphrasing, that the sum catered to them or allocated to them does not cater for house to house registration.
This is what my understanding is as well. And we have to understand that the PPP, they're deathly afraid of cleaning the list.
Yes.
We all, I think Guyanese have all come to the understanding of what happened in 2020. And that was there was a regime change. There's no if, but, or maybe about it. You understand? And so forces, external and internal, I believe, colluded to remove the AP and the AFC from power. So let's talk about democracy and democracy prevailing. Guyanese people are not uh, we're not as uh, uninformed as the PPPC may wish to make us out to be. We understand what has happened. And I think even their supporters, in their quiet moments, can reflect and say, you know what? Guyana was better off under the coalition. There was slow progress, there was steady progress. I hear a lot of the young people talk about, oh, money wasn't circulating. Money wasn't circulating. But I caution people that you had for 23 years a narco state being run that was blacklisted for anti money laundering for the EU and for the Commonwealth. You had an economy where the informal economy, i.e., the drugs economy, all of the underworld and money laundering activities, it was bigger than the formal economy. Do we understand what that means? You understand? So in rice, sugar, bauxite, gold wasn't bringing in as much as the informal economy. And so naturally there was money in the system because you had a large informal economy. Naturally, when you put controls in place to be able to build a proper economy on sound economics and not based on a large informal economy, what you will find is that those people who were earning illegitimately, excuse me, they began to suffer. Those that they supported as well began to suffer. So you are hearing that money wasn't circulating. But that is what happens when you are attempting to wrest or wrestle a formal economy from the clutches of an informal economy that was sometimes larger than it.
MB Desir, which ministry do you pay keen attention to, and maybe the ministry that, if I may ask, that you're most disappointed with since this new administration would have taken office?
I'm disappointed with every one of them in equal measure.
Mm-hmm.
In equal measure. I look I shadow foreign affairs, and so
Yes.
I continue to be disappointed that we are not placing enough emphasis on our diplomacy. I was making the point on another show this morning that because we do not have a large military, our first line of defense is diplomacy. To get the best diplomats, you have to train, you have to invest in your human resources. And I was appalled, Gabby, to see yesterday that there was a paltry $5 million allocated to training over all the programs in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. What that means is that your foreign affairs will now become very transactional. And it will be up to the vice president to go make a deal here, the president to go make a deal. So, and you will see the ad hocracy that characterizes the 23 years of the PPPC in office. So, all around, it's a colossal disappointment. Our procurement system is broken. Our justice system has to be able to step up to the plate and be that balance, or else we will all be rudderless ships, just coasting along. It's a frightening situation that is developing, but I remain eternally optimistic that the people of Guyana are going to understand that we have the power, that we have the ability to run our country in the manner that we want it run, fairly, equitably for everyone.
Yeah. MP, I just want to read something for you from Village Voice. It says Vice
Mhm.
President Jack Day on Thursday last said that he was surprised Guyana only dropped 2 points on the Transparency International Corruption Index during 2021, even as he labeled the organization as biased and lacking integrity. He said that, in fact, the VP insisted that the former APNU AFC government is responsible for the country's performance last year. Was as he addressed reporters to a press conference hosted last Thursday at the Artichong Conference Center. This is an international body that looks at all all the countries. How can this one institution be biased towards just only Guyana?
Because, of course, when the evidence, look, I keep making the point that they're not prepared for the age of transparency. They are very Goebbelsian in their approach. And the problem with the Goebbelsian approach is that in the information age, when information is so readily available, people can now go and research. And what ends up happening is cognitive dissonance, you know? And so that is what is happening with a lot of people that support the PPP. And I make the point, Gabby, that they are good people on both sides of this political divide. I do not see a member of the PPP as my enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very cautious when I talk about the PPP, that I maintain that I'm speaking about the PPP elite. There is an elitist group in the PPP where the money percolates and circulates only in that group, that use their rank and file supporters as pawns, as convenience. And I have no apologies for saying that. So you'll find that, as long as you don't agree with their rhetoric, you will be blamed, you will be um, deemed biased, and so on and so forth. So that doesn't surprise me. Uh, we all know that Transparency International doesn't, it's a yearly
Yes.
assessment. So you in government are almost 2 years, and the government that demitted 2 years is responsible for your drop. It is nonsensical and it is asinine. And but you can't expect better from a people who have mastered the art of misinformation. So Guyanese people, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. This is not, you know, just misinformation.
MP, I have two more questions for you, and then I'm going to let you go because I know that you
Yes,
have to
because we
get
have to get into the National Assembly. Yes.
uh, Budget 2022 is going to be passed because the
Yeah.
government obviously has the majority.
Yeah.
Uh, where does the opposition go from there? What do we do as a people who are a part of the group that wants change, that wants to see the transparency that you would have spoke about exclusively here just now? So, Budget 2022 described all the discrepancies that were highlighted by you and your colleagues. It's going to be passed. So where do we go from there?
And I think that is such a beautiful question because it really does underscore the importance of understanding the political dynamic.
Mhm.
The role of the parliamentary opposition, because the government has the numerical advantage in the National Assembly, will always be to advocate, to challenge, to expose. The parliamentary opposition is simply one facet of the complete political opposition. There are
Mhm.
also political parties that have their role to play as well. And so the two must work syncopated in order to bring relief. One advocates, one implements political strategies, etc., in order to be able to to expose the plight of the people and to agitate for change and to demand change and if necessary engage in political dissent in order to be able to demand change. Look, Gabby, I often say that the preamble to the UN Convention on Human Rights, and you must check it out. One of the preambular paragraphs, it says, basically, we are begging you to please observe these human rights, lest men as a last resort rebel.
Mhm.
So that convention recognizes that law and order, fairness, justice, and equity are important prerequisites for any society to function and for it not to um, descend into anarchy and chaos. So, for those who have a particular view of when people protest, etc., understand that it is important that people be able to express political dissent. It is the nature of democracy. And so I believe that as a total political opposition, as distinct from the parliamentary opposition, we would have to examine all of our options because if we do not do that, what we will see is the raiding of our treasury, the raping of our resources, and Guyanese will be poor people in a rich country, and Guyanese will invariably be relegated to second class citizens in our own homes, in our own land. The sad part is that we spend so much time defending an ethnic divide that ought not to be defended. We are Guyanese, irrespective of whether you're Indo, Afro, Indigenous, Portuguese, whichever you are from, you're Guyanese. And because we are busy fighting each other over here, other people are coming in, reaping the fat of our land, and we will be relegated to second class citizens. And by the time we look up from fighting and killing Mati, as I usually say in my country girl language, by the time we look up from that, a stranger would have inherited our land. There's an African proverb that says, when brothers fight, a stranger inherits their properties. Guyanese, Guyanese are fighting each other, and strangers are inheriting our property.
Beautifully said. MP, this year you're very much loved and respected. You have your own following, especially the young ladies or the young women of this country and further afield. As we let you go, what is your encouragement to the people of Guyana as we continue in 2022? We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're faced with the rising cost of living and so forth. As we wrap up, your encouragement to Guyanese people.
Power concedes nothing without a demand. It's that simple. You have to demand the life that you want. You have to demand the Guyana that you want. You have to determine that your children deserve better, that you deserve more, and that you are willing to fight for it. I keep making one point, Gabby. Whatever you do takes energy. Energy is energy is energy. Energy is never lost. The time that you take to stand up in line for a handout, take that same time to join the picket line to demand more for your children. The time that you take to get on social media to criticize somebody, take that same energy and lift your voice in criticism against a policy, against corruption. It's the same energy that it takes. It don't take no other level of energy. So it is about what we want to achieve as Guyanese. We love to go to these first world countries and enjoy the standard of living that they have and so on. But we do not understand or we don't appreciate enough that those people had to fight and struggle for that standard of living. If you trace their history, you would see protest, you would see dissent, you would see, you would see citizens taking their destiny into their own hands. I do not understand why we as Guyanese are so inert about our well-being. It is almost as if we have been beaten into a state of just, now I don't want to say complacency, but of inertia, where we feel like our destiny is in the hands of somebody else. Our destiny is in our hands. And with God's help, if we stand up as a people and demand more, more will be given unto us. But because we fail to demand more, because we still are in a system where I feel comfortable that the head of state looks like me, so I will not criticize him when he does balderdash. We're heading nowhere. We're heading nowhere. And you create the haves and the have nots. And this is an example that I give all the time. And the final example. You create a class of haves and you create a class of have nots. And the haves become the vulnerable ones. Because you have a group of people over here with nothing to lose and all day to do nothing but to torment the haves. So it is important that we understand that we have to advocate for equality in our society because equity, equal opportunity is the foundation of us moving Guyana forward.
MP Amanza Walton this year. Thank you so much. And this was such a beautiful interview and a great way, a beautiful ending as well. Thank you so much once again for taking time out of your busy schedule. Like I usually say to all my guests, that there is an open invitation on the mid morning show here on 107.1 FM to come join
Thank you. Thank you,
at
Gabby. Anytime. Anytime.
anytime. Come join us at any time. So continue to have
Yes.
a good rest of the day and week. And thank you so much for your
Great. So
service.
we're heading into the National Assembly now to continue to scrutinize those estimates.
Yes, thank you very much, MP, and
Thank you,
continue to
Gabby.
have a good day. Bye bye. I do agree with you, Theodore Adams. Good morning to you. That we definitely need her back here for a little bit more of a lengthy interview. But as you know, she needs to get in, and the other MPs as well need to get into the National Assembly as they begin day 2 of the consideration of the estimates. All right. And of course, you can listen to the consideration of the estimates. It's live on the Parliament of Guyana office and also on their website. It is 10 hours at 33. And I still have to give you guys your trending headlines for today. So let's do that, all right? Over on the Village Voice, it says, closed vendor shot dead in Leopold Street. We would have, went in a little bit to that story yesterday. $783 million budgeted for local government elections. PNTR condemns removal of GYEITI head. Yes, right. Good. And man dies after bike hit pothole. Jack Dio surprised Guyana only slipped 2 points on corruption index. Blacklisted companies handed multi-million dollar contracts. That is coming from David Patterson. Over on News Source, it says Foreign Affairs Ministry acted without cabinet knowledge in embarrassing Taiwan agreement. Okay, this is just out on News Source. I wish I didn't see it, or else I would have asked Amanza for a comment on it. Yes, Foreign Affairs Ministry acted without cabinet knowledge in embarrassing Taiwan agreement. The Guyana Police Force has issued a wanted bulletin for new suspect in Christmas Eve murder. Opposition leader's office receiving 10 million less than it did last year in national budget. The government has used its majority in the National Assembly's Business Subcommittee to shorten the time for the consideration of the budget estimates in the Committee of Supply. Government rehires Charles Ramson Sr. as Commissioner of Information. Mr. Ramson was first appointed to the position back in 2013 as the first person to hold that office, but was fired back in 2018 when the coalition rendered his office dysfunctional. And with opposition member of Parliament Nicolette Henry submitting her letter of resignation as an MP to the party's list leader, David Granger, the former PNCR leader, has written to the Speaker of the National Assembly and the clerk about the decision. Okay, GCOM's budgetary allocation does not cater for house-to-house registration or new voters lists. And police investigators are probing the shooting death of 24-year-old Carlos Waite. The man was shot dead in Leopold Street, Georgetown, as he reportedly attempted to break up a fight between two other men. A suspect is still to be identified as the probe widens. And so that is your latest on News Source. Over on Kaichor News, it says after disastrous spill, fuel shortage forces Peru to temporarily lift suspension on oil companies' operations. Government selects Exxon's client over independent firms to review U.S. $9 billion yellowtail plans. Man killed trying to save friend from bullets. Motorcyclist dies after riding into deep pothole. 32 million approved for office of the leader of the opposition as Parliament plans on spending $7 million to purchase one photocopying machine. Minor gets 38 years for raping woman. West Rumfeld man wanted for Sensai's murder. 20.8 billion approved for gas to shore project as Prime Minister refuses to provide answers. That is your latest on Kaichor News. Convict gets 47 years for killing fellow prison inmate. Clothes vendor fatally shot after trying to part a fight. Dingo gets 38 years for rape of woman at Mbambadaya, London. And Jack Dio rebuffs claims of a bribe taken. Okay, Jack Dio rebuffs claims of a bribe taken. So you can read that story if you find it interesting in today's Stabrook News. GCAM gets a 783 million to prepare for LGE. 10 to 12,000 temporary staff to be hired. And that's your latest on Guyana Chronicle, Guyana Chronicle as well. As I usually encourage you guys as well, that if you want to read these stories, the headlines that I would have read to you and more on other stories, you can visit their website and their Facebook page as well. And you can just click on it, click on the link, and it's going to take you straight to the story. Of course, if you want to pick up a tangible copy, that's for those persons here in Guyana, you can do so from your favorite vendors across the country. Maureen Williams, good morning to you. Michelle Cox, how you doing? So I got Tangerine here with me, also known as Earl. Earl, you're having a good day?
Yeah.
And don't forget that Earl is going to be my co-host tomorrow. Earl, are we matching up tomorrow? Earl, are we matching up tomorrow? Are we wearing the same colors tomorrow?
I don't know yet.
So Earl is going to be my co-host tomorrow. Errol Pratt, good morning to you. Those of you in the US, in France, I see Barbados is here, Trinidad and Tobago is here, Canada is here as well. Earl Brent said, also known as Lemon. No, he's not Lemon. He's not Lemon. He's Tangerine, all right? Maureen Williams, thank you very much to us, sweetheart. Okay, Earl, they want us to wear white tomorrow. Do you have a white t-shirt?
I don't check.
Yeah, he has a white t-shirt. So Earl, we're wearing white tomorrow with the blue jeans, okay? And I'm going to wear red lipstick. What color are you going to wear? Theodore Adams, also known as TJ Tunda. You know what? Let's set that up. Let's set that up for next week, all right? So tomorrow you're going to have a fantastic program. Tomorrow you're going to have representatives from the Guyana the Guyana Cooperative Credit Union. They're located on Hatfield Street. They cater for the needs of a lot of public servants. You can go there to get loans and so on. They have rebranded. In my opinion, they're doing great things since under the stewardship of Trevor Ben. So we're going to talk with a number of persons there, a number of managers there, and they're going to highlight some of the services that public servants can access. And I want to ask questions, whether do I need to be a public servant to join the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union? How long do I need to be a member before I can have access to loans and all of that, all right? So it's going to be a very informative program tomorrow. So make sure that you look out for that. Of course, we're going to make a post later down on our Facebook page so that to remind you and that you can look out for it. Okay, so this one says, good morning. I'm sending happy birthday greetings to my mom, Elizabeth Ford. Greetings are coming from her daughter, Simone, and granddaughter, Aisha, from St. Lucia. Love you, Mom, and enjoy your day. All right, so Elizabeth Ford, happy birthday to you again, darling. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. A wedding anniversary, congratulations. Maybe you got married today, whereby you just went and signed the papers, congratulations. Or like a good friend of mine says, maybe you got divorced. Yes, I have a friend says that if you get divorced, you need to celebrate as well, okay? So congratulations if you got divorced, okay? Sharon Griffith, good morning. Brenda. So I know that you guys like these type of music. So we're going to give you some selections by Andre. So don't forget that tomorrow, Earl, also known as Tangerine, is going to co-host with me. We're going to have members of the Guyana Cooperative Credit Union Limited join us for our discussion time from 10 a.m. And tomorrow, we're just generally going to have great music, all right? behalf of the team, it's your girl Gabby, Josh, Earl, Selector Andre. This has been the Tuesday edition of the Mid Morning Show here on 107.1 FM. Brent Mentor says Earl is known as Tangerine on Gabby Morning Show, but Lemon is on Mark Show. All right, we're gonna go with that. Now y'all remember that is Earl give himself that name, okay? It's not me give him that name. He gave himself that name, so that's what we're gonna be going with, okay? So on behalf of the team here, we absolutely love you guys very much. Continue to have a blessed and wonderful and safe Tuesday. Continue to follow the COVID-19 protocols. Of course, wear your mask, wash and sanitize your hands as much as possible. Maintain your social distance and protect yourself and your family, all right? Especially the children. You guys have a blessed day. Bye for now, sweethearts.
shaking we body and we start to rock. But the way I rockin', I give it she all. She couldn't take the jamming and she start to ball. Oh Lord, don't rock the thing so baby, don't rock it so. Don't rock the thing so baby, don't rock it so. Don't rock the thing so baby, don't rock it so. Don't rock the thing so baby, don't rock it so. Boy, you're feeling the tempo. Don't rock the thing so baby, don't rock it so. Oh, you. In a party, with my baby. In a party, with my baby. I met her in a party, party on the block.
Double housework you're doing. Tonight we going and have some fun. I just feel it to party the way we used to when we was young. Just put on something sexy so you'll be free to move around. Make sure the children okay. We ain't coming home until morning come. Tonight the black man feeling the party. Tonight the black man feeling the jam, 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 jam. Tonight the black man just feels the boogie woogie. Come on, hold on to your man. And let me do, and let me do, and let me do a little oi.
Guyanese, are you ready for real development? I say, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. For a good and honest government, I say, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. For 4 years and 9 months, it is here to see infrastructural development across this country. And 3 new towns we created recently. Public servants getting big money. We ready. Pull up to AFC. We want some more improvement. So we can this government. We ready. From the nation all the mess. Government push. Government push. Government push.
Is it necessary to have so much soldiers in this small country? No, 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 no. Is it necessary to shine soldier boots with taxpayers' money? No, 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 no. chip, chip, drinks in me heart, take a sip, sip, pull it pretty gal by them hip, 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 chip, chip, chipping on me, chip, chip, drinks in me heart, take a sip, sip, pull it pretty gal by them hip, hip, hip. Down the road now, down behind the truck, yeah, can't believe my love, so lucky today. You see me wine and waving in the band, yeah. If you see me tapping back to beat in my hand, yeah. If you see me holding on to sexy woman, yeah. Don't bet with me, boss, please try and understand that it is not me, oh no, blame it on the music. Boy, I see that boy, I can't tell you nothing about that. Everybody, come on. What happens in the party? Oh yeah, what happens in the party? Come on. So anything that you see, oh yeah, please don't run tell nobody. My lips are sealed. It's time to get on and let yourself go. Do what you want, nobody will know. Your secret is safe with me.
On your carpet, you must be like roses on your knees, bright and shiny. You must be. You are the one I love the best. When I marry, I'll give you the ring. First boy, second the girl. Sunday, Monday, afternoon, I miss a ring. First, this is for you. I wish you want anaconda. I wish you need the wood under. I wish you want anaconda. I wish you need the wood under. Last night in the sleep, I think I was dreaming. Hey, hey. When I feel the healing and told me the lady. Hey, hey. Articles down me head, I could there she calling. Hey, hey. This sexual feeling just got you screaming. So she like it when me give it to her, what she want me give it to her. I people loving that's coming from my heart. Carnival again, when it flies. Carnival again, when it flies. Carnival, carnival. Juve again, Juve again. Oi, Juve, Juve. When I start to whine, I have no control. The carnival fever is in me soul. When I hear them pan like I've gone insane. The carnival blood running in me veins. I'll be jamming, I'll be waving from a Juve to Ash Wednesday. I was conceived.
Hey, what do I know? Hey, whining season. Whining, girl. Hey, this season is here. Hey, we waiting all year. Yeah, to wine everywhere. Hey, oh yeah. I'm telling you, this season is my time. It's a full cup and it's hard wine. If they tell me stop, we go decline. Every man, woman and child, we come out to wine. Wine is bacchanal time. Time, wine out of your mind. Mind, I'm telling you, they can't stop it. Never trying to stop the jamming. The noise we making, a video shaking. It's too much drinking and dirty grinding. But we not stopping at all. We come out to wine. Wine is festival time. Time, wine out of your mind. Mind, I'm telling you, they can't stop it. They can't stop the bacchanal. They can't stop the festival. Nothing can stop the carnival. Because this is season to wine. Wine, something and wine. Wine, somebody and wine. Wine, I'm telling you, jumping in up. Push, hey, push, hey, push, hey, 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 go, hey. We not rush on pressure. Say push on pressure. Mr. Marshall, right here. There you go. And I'm gonna say, under wine, we not under pressure. Over time and grind, give me pleasure. Under wine, we come back fresher. Yeah. You know me say, under wine, we not under pressure. Over time and grind, give me pleasure. Under wine, we come back fresher. Yeah. You know me say, on the road, give me plenty pleasure. Plenty wine and plenty bumper. Push back, let me feel the pressure. Push bumper, plenty bumper. Out of mind, say we over the measure. Up to mom, we not out to the pressure. Ready to work with the map for the treasure. Push bumper, plenty bumper. Push your bumper, push bumper. Push your bumper, plenty bumper. Push your bumper, push.
How we looking? Check we out. How we looking? We looking check out the waist, check out the wine. Check we out. How we looking? Check we out. How we looking? Check we out. How we looking? We looking check out the waist, check out the wine. Check out my style, come on, wicked and wild. The independent and the intelligent. Check out my style, check out my style. Carnival is a whining time, so look at my waist and learn. When you see me whining down, is there, 'cause